As I mentioned in my previous video, streamers are quickly rising to become some of the biggest figures in the entertainment industry, amassing audiences of hundreds of thousands of live viewers, mostly comprising younger audiences. They have managed to garner massive amounts of wealth and success from their live stream broadcasts. The top streamers like Aiden Ross, Casanat, and IShowSpeed rake in millions of dollars in revenue annually, partially in part paid for by donations from their loyal fan base. In my previous video, I mentioned how this new breed of entertainer has surpassed their contemporaries in popularity, and how they replaced TV as the dominant form of entertainment among the youth. I spoke on why that was a negative thing, as ultimately, these streamers replace the friends that could be made in real life or the male role models that are integral in the development of a young man's life. While the shows that previous generations were raised on had lessons that one could take with them, some of the streamers reinforce notions of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and sometimes even racism and bigotry. However, in that video I didn't elaborate on what entertainer streamer had also passed in popularity. In this one, I will discuss how streamers have outcooled rappers. For a while, rap has surpassed rock and roll as a popular music genre in the world. And with that, the craze went from I want to be a rock star to I want to be a rapper. But almost as fast as its meteoric ascension in the late 2010s, chart data has suggested that hip-hop is falling by the wayside in favor of other genres. Apple and Hot 97 radio host Ebro Darden reported this in a tweet back in 2023 saying, "It should be noted, many major record labels have deprioritized signing rappers. The focus is now African music and Latin music. And with that, the focus on hip-hop by major labels have shifted to other genres, and members of his audience with it." Ironically, while the two fields of entertainment could not seem further from each other, in our modern age, they are practically interconnected. Both rapping and streaming are seen as quick paths to fame and fortune, thus making the younger generation eager to emulate them. In both fields, the barrier for entry is extremely low. With today's technology, both careers are easily accessible to anyone with money for a camera or a microphone set up at home. And with the barrier for entry being low as it is, often those without any sort of skill or talent can quickly rise to the top. This is particularly egregious with rappers, as often a modern day rapper will catch a viral moment on TikTok and go from being a blow Joe to being shopped around by various different labels, all without possessing the necessary discipline it takes to be successful in the music industry, such as stage presence and performance ability, work ethic and consistency, and a vision and creative direction. All traits that the older generation were well aware of. One key element that I failed to mention that is vital in a rapper's success is their charisma and cool. Kids nowadays call it aura. We've all heard the phrase before, men want to be him and women want to be with him. This is an essential quality to have in hip-hop that the most popular artists know about. Most people don't have this quality. In fact, I will wager that 99% of people don't have it either. This quality is reserved for the 1%. Jay-Z, Barack Obama, Michael Jordan. What do these people have in common? Aura. The ability to shift any room they walk in with their presence. If you feel like you lack this quality, don't worry, streamers do too. This is precisely why they stream and not rap. With streaming, you don't have to be cool. In fact, you can be a nerd and intentionally make a fool of yourself in front of a global audience. That actually might make you more liked and garner even more attention. The more awkward or ridiculous you are, the more you stand out. The audience for streamers mirrors this reality. Both streamers and their viewers largely fall into that 99%. People who don't possess the swagger of a Tupac or the magnetic presence of a Beyonce. Despite the fact that streamers have indeed surpassed rappers in popularity, they still attempt to emulate the style of rappers. In order to remake themselves in the image of cool, they often bite rappers' fashion sensibilities, surround themselves with floozy women on their streams, and buy jewelry like flashy chains or luxury watches, all in the effort to portray themselves as cool. In hip-hop, there are gatekeepers, label executives, or the forefathers of a genre that made it possible. They can determine the trajectory of an artist's career. Streamers don't face these blockades in their pathway to success. For being a streamer is a registration for any variety of streaming platform and something to record yourself on. There are no doormen block your way to achieving prosperity. Another example of streamers having surpassed rappers as the standard for emulation in the cultural zeitgeist is the fact that now rappers have become reliant on streamers and not the other way around. Instead of being grilled with hard questions by a journalist or a nosy radio personality, rappers will instead turn to streamers for their interviews and album promotions. Casanata affiliate Talil recently took offense when he overheard Coco Jones saying she only came on the stream for promotion of her tour. But in reality, he should have felt privileged. No longer do artists have to slog through tedious interviews and demonstrate how well their publicists brush them up on their media training. Instead, they can go on stream and be their true selves, making it increasingly likely they can attract more listeners to their latest work. These candid, less scripted conversations with streamers can humanize a seemingly larger-than-life figure, bringing them down to a casual level and endearing themselves to a diverse audience. And now, with streamers doing live listening sessions, it is arguably even more important for a rapper to cultivate a relationship with a streamer than the head of a radio station. We've seen some of the biggest artists in the rap game collaborate with streamers. The younger generation isn't the only one noticing the success streamers are having. Now, the same groupies who used to fawn over rappers are linking up with popular streamers. A prime example of this is Instagram model India Love, who struck up a flirtatious relationship with YouTuber turned rapper turned streamer DDG. Treasure Wilson, host of Cameron and Mace's It Is What It Is podcast, was also seen attending the streamer prom alongside AMP member Chris Nextdoor, an event organized by comedian turned streamer Funny Mike. For guys like Chris, streaming opens the door to dating women they might not have a chance with otherwise. Another reason so many young men dream of becoming streamers. Instead of video vixens, we now have what I would like to call streaming sirens. Women who appear on streams and play the same visual role vixens did in the early 2000s rap videos. But here's the catch. Unlike rappers, a lot of streamers don't have the experience or game to manage these dynamics. That leaves them wide open to being finessed, whether it's for money, clout, or both. At the end of the day, streamers didn't just pass rappers in popularity, they outplayed them. They took the formula for fame, stripped out the gatekeepers, and made it their own. No label deals, no stage presence, no aura required. Just a camera, some Wi-Fi, and a willingness to act wild in front of thousands. And now, rappers are the ones chasing streamers for promo, not the other way around. The clout, the cash, the girls, it's all there. But what's wild is how much of it is just smoke and mirrors. Streamers might look like the new rock stars, but the game they're playing is completely different. And the kids, they're watching. And they're taking notes. Hey guys, thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. I really appreciate that. If y'all want to support me and help the channel grow, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I got a lot more different content coming soon. So follow my Instagram, my personal Instagram, as well as my second channel. Thank y'all so much for watching.